Welcome to D&D Five Families Adventure 33. We're in the petrified forest, following the Baroness, who has been captured or taken by the Tensor's floating disc out of her castle and across the plains. The party is following her, and that's where we left off. Al-Kad still has his levitate spell up, and
yeah, he still grabs my rope, doesn't he? So I can carry him around like a balloon.
Yes, he's basically your human balloon, defying gravity, levitate spell. And Al-Kad say a middle-aged, older, let's say in the 60s, human wizard, ball head, some arcane symbols on his head and his hands. He has a violet arcane robe with arcane symbols inside. The inside color of the robe, like a hot, dazzling pink. He has lost his wizard shoes to the mimic back at the castle. So he has socks. He has arcane wizard socks, which are getting dirty. But he's levitating, so they're not getting too dirty. And he's ready for the adventure, looking to find the secrets to the escaping Baroness, escaping in the middle of the night. This tenses floating disc. She looks to be sleeping, just sitting on the disc, slumped over, as the disc carries her into the darkness. The party follows. And we have Istir. You want to introduce yourself, please? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So Istir is a level 5. Sorry. Let me reiterate. Level 4 sorcerer. He's bald on the head, has a short mustache with a shorter beard, half elf, golden eyes, slightly tanned, and always keeps a slight smile on his face.
Wonderful, and now we're going to hear a story today, a bard story, a sorcerer story. Maybe later.
Perhaps, but at the moment,
a proper storyteller, has to work on his stories, her stories, his stories. That way, they're a proper storyteller, as you claim to be. We'll see.
I have stories. Don't worry about it. It has to fit the occasion.
True. You're into the petrified forest, very dark and dreary. It's in the wee hours of the night before the morning. You're following the Baroness, and when Hyphe comes back, she can introduce herself.
Where am I coming back from?
I'm up to the bathroom.
Oh.
Welcome back. You can introduce yourself now, please. We went through Al-Kad and Istir.
Sure. So Hyphe is a 6th level, newly 6th level Druid forest gnome. She's just over 3 feet tall. Wears very plain tunic that has lots of things hanging attached to her, pouches and saddles and feathers are sticking out, and moss and all sorts of different spell components, what you think might be spell components. She is little, but she is a little bossy and annoying at times and likes to put her hands on her hips. And she is, she has violet colored eyes and straw colored hair. And she's rather annoyed with Al-Kad at the moment, which is not an unusual occurrence.
Thank you. Al-Kad, I rolled for, he has a moment of clarity. And he notices Hyphe. He notices Hyphe noticing him. And he levitates over to Hyphe, says, "My dear, I just realized something. I may have inadvertently blew you up in my last fireball spell. Did that really happen? Was that you screaming in the flames as the room burst in fire?
That was me screaming. If you heard screaming in a very dignified way, that was definitely me screaming. Granted, I was standing in between two enemies as it happened, so I will accept about 10% of the blame from that, but I would really ask you to be judicious. There are many things to consider before casting fireball. Your fireball is very powerful, and it almost killed me. Thanks for noticing.
Yes, I am so sorry about that. I didn't realize that I did that. I was worried about my wizard shoes, you know. They're new, and the mimics got them, and I got very upset, and I didn't realize I blew up in my fireball. I'm very sorry. And he hands you his good berry. He sees your scalding wounds still there. He hands you his good berry.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, I didn't take mine as well, so it's supposed to be with you. You should have three of them.
I would like you to each keep your good berry. Actually, I'm going to take Al-Kad and say thank you very much. And,
take mine as well. I'm usually out of harm's way.
I'm going to cast as I'm eating that good berry, and I am appreciative to Al-Kad because he and I generally, he doesn't think much of my character, and the fact that he did notice that he burnt me half to a crisp, I'm grateful for, because it helps me have hope for the future. But I'm also going to cast Cure Wounds on myself at 3rd level.
Give me healing damage, and you're that's 3 spells you cast.
That is 2. Yes. And you know what? I'm sorry. I'm actually going to cast it at 2nd level if that's okay with you.
I remember the moonbeam.
Yep.
And now the healing. Was it 2 spells you cast, or was it 3?
No, I think I cast something else. I did cast Moonbeam. I was ready to wild shape, but didn't. I'm showing that I have a 3rd level left, and with this cast, 2 2nd levels and 3 1st levels. So maybe it was just Moonbeam and.
That's fine for now.
Moonbeam and 1 healing spell, if I recall correctly.
I think I might have. Yeah. Oh, on myself already. That's how I got back up to 22, because I was down to 1 hit point. Yep, that makes sense.
And then this will be the 3rd spell you cast.
Right.
Okay, so you're keeping your spells.
Cure Wounds at 2nd level. Let me go ahead and roll for that, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
While that happens, Istir would ask Al-Kad, I have an idea for us not to lose track of the Tenses floating disc and the lady. You can continue levitating for how long the spell lasts?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Then it wouldn't be as useful. But maybe we will be able to fit on 1 horse, the 2 of us. And if Hyphe can turn into a horse, we might still keep up with them. For now, you can float behind us on the rope.
So we're going to both be riding a gnome to turn into a horse. Is that right?
She can turn into a particularly large horse.
I can turn into like a war horse kind of a thing, I think. Certainly like a ridden horse for sure.
You can turn into a large horse if you want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm back to 36 hit points. I took a good berry from Istir and the good berry from, so 1 from each, plus I healed myself to 12. So wait, I got 10 points from my roll, plus the 2 good berries. So that's how I'm up to 36.
Okay, 36 hit points. Good job on that.
Thank you for the good berry, Istir.
And
All right.
I want to remind you, you have luck skill, which gives you 1 reroll. Al-Kad does not have luck. He has appraisal. Appraisal, arcane, deception, investigation. Al-Kad, as he's levitating, he snaps his fingers, and out of the pocket dimension comes his yellow seahorse familiar. Pops it in a mason jar of salt water and casts his unseen servant spell. Hands that mason jar to his unseen servant. His unseen servant leads the party ahead, holding the familiar, the mason jar forward. Al-Kad covers his right eye, seeing through the familiar's eyes.
Well, in that case, we would be slowed down, wouldn't we? Is
No,
the
because
unseen servant
Unseen
fast?
servant matches Al-Kad. Yes. It's
Well,
fast
what
enough.
I mean by that is if we're going to ride a horse, we're going to be slowed down.
Take a look.
Didn't you want to attach a rope to him?
Although this place might be dangerous and we might like to go as stealthily as possible. I don't know the area.
If I'm a riding horse, I've got 60 foot speed.
Mhm. Then the
My
bunch
dex
of
is
health.
average. Yeah. I can cast pass without a trace. No, I can't. What can I cast? I can pass something. No, I didn't bring it. I don't have it. Never mind.
The unseen servant is pretty much weightless, so he can jump on the back of the horse if you're going to
Yeah.
ride fast.
The question would still stand if we should traverse this forest carefully, or do we have the opportunity to just ride through it?
Well, there is a pathway. There's a pathway marked where the road is clear of the petrified wood and the trees. And the Baroness is going right down that pathway into the darkness. The moonlight is cut off by the overhead trees as you go down this what looks like to be a tunnel in the petrified forest.
Ooh.
All right. If she enters a tunnel, then we should definitely move stealthily. Or do you mean the road itself looks like a tunnel due to the forest surrounding it?
Yes, the road itself looks like a tunnel.
Well, I'm not, as a riding horse, I'm certainly not going to be stealthy. And I don't have it. I can't cast anything that's going to make us more stealthy, unfortunately.
Which would still give us the option to stay in touch with the disc if it's going to just float all the way around. It does not leave any traces on the ground. So it's either we're trying to keep up with it as fast as possible, or we're trying to traverse the forest carefully. And I don't know if there's any specific dangers awaiting for us here, so that would be up to you.
Godric, since we have lived basically in spare rooms of the Baron for some time now, we would be somewhat familiar with local understanding of what goes on in the forest, what comes out of it, who has ventured in, what's happened to them. Can you give us a good idea of what we know?
The petrified forest is no place for those who are not prepared to challenge the evil forces that lurk within. Many have gone and not come back.
Has anyone come back and have any stories at all about what they encountered?
Well, apparently, Galron, who is who used to be working for the Baron, used to be the head wizard, has went into the forest, banished from the castle, banished from the group family, and he lives there. And the undead comes from that direction.
Yes,
Attack the castle.
Al-Kad's brother. I recall that.
Gotcha.
And,
Most likely, we're walking right into his hut.
Sure,
Okay,
I
so-
agree completely.
Al-Kad says, "Yeah, my brother. Did I tell you that?"
Yes, you told me that.
Okay, and then so you're riding Hyphe. Hyphe, you're a warhorse type.
Well, I'm
She
just a
didn't-
riding horse.
Torn.
Everybody's riding you.
Did you already turn into a horse? I thought we were still in the decision stage of that thing. Because if
We're
the
finding out
forest
now.
is dangerous,
Finding
we
out now,
shouldn't.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly not going to allow us to be stealthy. So if that's our goal, then that's a mistake. I can be so much more stealthy as a number of other things, or even as a gnome. Do
I
you have
think
any
that-
special stealth abilities?
I'm proficient with stealth,
Awesome.
so it's a +4.
Okay. Then I have better luck turning into a rat and hopping on into your pocket right now than anything else.
Yes.
But I can't cast spells. So right now I just don't want to lose them. I'm happy letting the disc go and going as fast as I can to keep up if that's what we want to do.
Letting the disc go. Meaning
How
you're gonna
fast
follow-
does it move?
I say
Can we
about
ascertain
30.
that?
I say, you know what? It's probably a little bit slower. It's probably about 20 feet per round.
Then we don't need the horse to follow it.
Right.
I
I can
just
keep
thought
up
that
with
it
that.
flies pretty fast through the air and we wouldn't be able to keep up with it.
I don't think so. I think it's more about 20.
If it's
I can
around
keep up
20
with that.
feet, then we should try and move after it stealthily,
I agree.
keeping to the trees.
Okay, you do. And you notice some glowing eyes hanging from
Передай мне кубики. I'm
glowing
sorry.
eyes in the darkness in the tunnel,
How many
hanging from the
pairs?
tops of what would be the petrified trees. What did you say, Happy?
How many pairs?
2 or 3. They seem to be blinking.
They look in our direction.
Yes. Make a animal handling check or a nature check. Whatever's better.
7.
Animal handling is wisdom, and nature is intelligence. So you can choose.
I rolled
Animal
a 3.
handling can work as well. Let me animal handling then. Not much better, 9.
Okay, Al-Kad's going to. Well, he's gonna roll nature. He has intelligence, so this should be easy. There you are. 10 plus 4, 14. Al-Kad says, you guys should work on your nature, really. So he says, those are owls. Those are common owls. Nothing to worry about. And you think
Owls?
probably they're non-threatening creatures, something that lives there, but non-threatening to you as you walk underneath.
We know of
I have-
one. I'm sorry that I cut you off. Yeah, continue.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You go first, and I'll.
We know of only one wizard that is capable of casting strong spells that comes from the petrified forests, and owls might be familiars.
Absolutely. I'm going to, if you're if you'll allow it. I have Speak with Small Beasts as a forest gnome, and an owl. I have a particular affinity for owls. My spell focus is an owl pellet from my favorite owl. My tattoo that I chose is an owl. So I'm going to, if you'll allow it, use my forest gnome Speak with Small Beasts and just communicate. I can communicate simple ideas with sounds and gestures, and I'm just going to greet them as a friendly person would and gauge their response.
Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo! What do you say to them?
Which I interpret to mean what? Yes, no, I say exactly that. Just basically a friendly greeting. Hello, how are you this evening? An owl.
We can tell you don't belong here. Not that we mind, but things don't survive very long here if they don't belong.
What happens to them? Woohoo!
Well, they get eaten by bigger creatures than themselves. We sit here and watch. We're just hoping for maybe a fat mouse or a rat to scurry by.
Understood. Good to know. Thanks.
And we definitely should stealth if you relay this information to us, of course.
Right, of course I would. That was the whole point, to give us as much understanding as we can about where we are.
Al-Kad says, does anybody have a light spell? I can't see very well in here.
Just follow me. I have dark vision.
So do I.
Hold on to my shoulder.
It says, I do have a fireball left. That will light up the place.
Hold on to
That'll
that. We may
also
need it.
attract a lot of attention.
Oh, right.
We don't need light. No kind of light here. That would be a mistake.
Being a second child, I think I was attention depraved.
Well, that would be the wrong kind of attention.
Actually,
So, shall we try and...
I think a middle child. I meant to say a middle child. A middle child, I meant to say, right?
So shall we try and move after her carefully? Do you have any invisibility spells, perhaps?
Here's something. Can I make a minor illusion of a minor light?
It wouldn't be. It would be like a candlelight, if I recall correctly. So it's not particularly strong. Like you can do it with prestidigitation, for example. You can create a torch.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Al-Kad makes a torch with prestidigitation.
So you can, you can light a torch. So you can just set it on a flame. You can make a
torch in his
makeshift
adventurous
torch.
pack. So he goes in his pack, grabs a torch, lights it with his cantrip.
I move away out of the light of the torch, far away.
He has a torch
Me
too.
as well.
Servant. You don't see the servant is holding it behind him. It's right in the back of the party, and you guys have infravision, or you have dark vision.
Just
so
dark vision.
You're looking through the front. He can see to the back.
Al-Kad, that would be not the best idea, in my honest opinion. We should keep it as low as possible. You can see the road through your... I do not doubt your powers. I doubt our numbers at the moment.
You doubt our numbers. How does that work? We're 1, 2, 3.
We should just
4,
keep it low.
5 if you count. We're 5 if you count Herbert. How would those numbers be doubting anything? Are you mad, sir?
I'm low on spells. We all already had a fight. We haven't had a rest, and we are just making it a reconnaissance mission. Taking a good look on what is going on with the Baroness and going back, rescuing her only if she is in danger.
I have plenty of spells left. What level are you, sir? Are you not an archmage? I have a spells pool. I can cast all these spells like 5 times each. But then I'll be spent.
I would still prefer for us to not attract unneeded attention.
I have 2 third level spells left. Oh, I used my 4th level. Did I try to polymorph the mimic?
I turn and look at Al-Kad and glare at him and go,
Al-Kad, can't you see through your familiar?
Does the seahorse have dark vision?
It should. It's a deep sea creature. Let me see. Let me check out. Just
No,
a second.
I'm gonna say that it's like the cat in the moonlight. Has like ultra vision. Whatever. I'm gonna say that he gets a minor bonus to seeing through his seahorse in the darkness. So he puts out the torch. He snaps his finger and he says, "If you wish it so," and turns off the torch.
thank you.
All right. Can we try to stealth through the forest behind the disc?
And there's a silence, and the owls are cooing, and we can all roll stuff. But go ahead. I'll roll for Al-Kad. +2 dex.
It's going to be a 20.
Oh, nice. I
Istir,
only
where'd
have
you
an
go?
11.
Istir, show yourself. Ooh.
I'll touch him slightly on the back.
Al-Kad rolled a natural 20. Al-Kad's also gone. Istir,
So-
I'm doing it. I'm stealthy. And he's talking like, he's ruining it with his talking, but he's really impressed with himself. He rolled a 20 on stealth. He's crawling behind the petrified trees. He found a little pathway there, hiding. And what about Hyphe?
11.
So I guess you're walking in the middle of the road. More obvious.
Hyphe, perhaps you want to hide in my pocket.
How strong are you? I was going to ask, maybe I could ride on your back. How strong are you?
I'm not too strong, actually.
Oh,
I'm
guys,
at -2.
get a room, guys. Get a room. Jeez.
No, it's all right. I'm so disgusted with Al-Kad.
We
I
don't
just
have
keep
time
going.
for this.
It just
My
keeps going.
goodness. Okay, do what you need to do. I'm just gonna keep walking, he says.
Okay.
He's walking with his unseen servant and Herbert just in front of him, and the owl's still cooing. Anything else?
Nope. I assume
Okay,
not.
As you cover more distance, just then you hear like a low grueling sound, like from the road. From each side of the road cross these 2 humanoid figures, and it looks like they're meeting the disc, which is farther in front of you, and they look like they're. You guys can see in the dark, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
For 60 feet.
Okay, there's a pair of humanoids with rotten skin, their hair falling off in patches, their skin covered with damp slime falling off onto the ground. And one of them, its entrails are dragging on the ground, clearly. And the other one seems to be a female with one eye missing and a gaping open mouth with no teeth. They grab the disc and start ushering it to the side, into another pathway. They're guiding the disc. The Baroness still sleeping, and then below the disc, you see a third creature, a dwarf. You gather, and the dwarf has bones exposed where there should be flesh.
I'll
So there's 3 of them.
I'll whisper to Al-Kad. Well, I assume that gives way to where exactly the Baroness is floating. It proves my expectations. Most likely, we're walking right into your brother's realm.
I agree.
probably.
Do we want to try to stop them, or do we want to go back for reinforcements? What do you think?
I think we should just follow them and take a look at what exactly happens here. If that's not the first time that it occurs, perhaps he does some kind of ritual. Maybe he wants to possess the Baroness one way or another to reclaim his place.
Did you say they looked like they were about to go into something, or maybe I misunderstood? There's like a tunnel. Or...
You know what they are, right? Tell them what they are.
Zombies.
The zombies pull them off the trail, pull the disc and the Baroness off the trail, and they're out of sight at the moment. You'll have to catch up and follow them, will you?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a a perception check? Okay.
Okay.
To catch them on the trail again.
21.
Al-Kad did well. Al-Kad
15.
did perception is wisdom, right?
Mhm.
Al-Kad got 19. Okay, so you notice they went off the road, and within 20 or 30 feet farther, there's this hole, seems to be like a hole or like a dig in the ground, and which goes into a tunnel which goes underground, and they start going down. It's about a 15 by 15 tunnel.
All
They
right.
go underground.
I look at Istir and like with my eyes wide, like we're not going down there, are we?
Well, I've seen you turn into smaller creatures. Perhaps you can turn into a spider and crawl into it. Take a look, come back.
Sure. Absolutely happy to do that.
Don't think that anyone would attack a small spider for any kind of reason around a bunch of undead.
Okay, it says, "Are you scared of the dark, children?" I can see with
We are the only ones who can see in the dark. We are not scared of it. Trust us.
I can see through the eyes of
We're just
Sorcerer.
careful.
I am well equipped with my magic. Excuse you. I will go down and I will lead.
Al-Kad, not what we're doing right now. Are you going to be okay keeping him here? I say to Istir.
We can follow slightly behind you. And if anything happens, just turn back into yourself when you come back. Let's give her, if you're so eager, Al-Kad, to get into those caverns and follow through, perhaps we should just give her a few minutes of head start so she would be able to get a better glimpse of what's going on there. And we might avoid any kind of dangers or traps on the way. It's not the best thing to go blind into a unknown territory.
Uncharted territory.
Yes.
With 3 undead in a dark tunnel in the petrified forest.
Yes.
Well, why not? Okay, says.
I look at him and say, please, Al-Kad, I may need your help when I come out. Please stay behind. You're quieter than I am. I'm about to turn into a spider, but I'm going to need you behind, not leading the charge on this one. Will you please stay with Istir?
Al-Kad pulls out a cigar, lights it with some flint, starts smoking. It's a rich, like a sweet tobacco smell, something that took time to procure. Maybe he bought them special.
I'll morph into a wolf spider, and which is like a medium-sized spider. It's certainly not a giant spider, but it's hairy and kind of blends in well, and can still go faster than a tiny little thing.
You turn to a wolf spider. You follow the disc, right?
Yeah.
The zombies
and
don't
I'm
seem
kind
to
of up
notice
on
you.
the ceiling.
Okay, up on the
What's
ceiling.
that?
The zombies don't seem to notice you. Al-Kad offers Istir a cigar. He says, "Would you like a proper cigar?" They're Cuban, of course.
Pull out the pipe, start stuffing it, and If you wish to pass time, I can tell you a story about why you're not run into unexplored caverns.
Sure, we have time. Start smoking puffs.
Have you ever heard of a rogue of old time who have uncovered a cavern filled with treasure?
I haven't heard of that.
All right. So there was a pretty, how do you call it? I forgot the word in English. Pretty poor man who had to steal for a living. He didn't become a rogue for no reason, not because he liked to take what does not belong to him, but simply because his society was not as developed and there were no jobs for him. He stole a thing or two here and there, but one day he overheard a story of a hidden treasure deep in the desert, in a cavern right inside a mountain that would open only if you mutter the right words. One day he followed through and went into that forest. Into that desert. He discovered the needed combination of words, but he rushed too fast into this situation. And after visiting this place a couple of times, he became slightly greedier and stayed there for far longer than usually. He wanted to take more of this treasure, and he got stuck right when the denizens of the place came. There were 14 men who almost slaughtered him. If he weren't as good with hiding, he would have surely been dead. You don't want to rush into any situation, no matter how rich you might become out of it or how famous, if you do not know who might follow behind you.
Is this the story?
Yes, I'm just trying to persuade him with a short story. Do not rush forward all the time. We're not unmindful creatures.
Well, that was a nice story. He casts Mage Hand and picks up a cigar, and he totes at his cigar, being held by his Mage Hand.
Just wasting spell slots out of character, yeah? Why not?
I hope it's a cantrip. I hope it's a cantrip, but I doubt it.
No, it's not.
Mage Hand's a cantrip.
Okay,
It
good.
is? Oh, right.
Yeah, Mage Hand.
I forgot about it.
Actually scratches his head with his Mage Hand. Just giving himself a massage. Would you like a Mage Hand massage? Good for circulation.
I would stick to keeping an eye around. I would prefer to not being ambushed by any more undead.
Okay, back to Hyphe. You're going down this tunnel. Go ahead.
I have blind sight 10 feet, dark vision 60 feet, and decent passive perception, and I have a +7 to stealth. So I hopefully have picked the best shape for what I need to do.
Oh, so that's a tough spider. Okay. So you hear like a clanging of a chain down the way as the tunnel turns from earth into stone hallways. And you hear like a chain dragging on the stone somewhere up ahead. Like if it was those fat chains, the ones you like tie like large ships to. Tie large ships down.
Like lowering a gate or something?
No, more like a chain dragging across the stone floor. Up ahead, maybe 50, 100 feet. It echoes the hallway. And the Baroness stirs and in her sleep it doesn't wake up. And the undead are moving towards this. Seems to be a double door. It seems to be coming at the end of the hallway. And there's a continual light spell cast that lights up now the hallway door, and it seems to be a wooden double door at the end of a stone hallway, which is when the door seems to be cracked open, and then the zombie guards open it, and the disc slides into the room. You know, follow?
I am.
This is a large stone chamber, about 30 high and 40 across. And first thing you notice, center room, there's a pentagram, seems to be marked off with blood, and it's done very perfectly. The inside is a cage, like a bird cage, but very large. And there's some lights to the northeast, and there seems to be like a bed and some other some bookshelves and a desk. Somebody's personal quarters.
Does it appear to have the trappings of a mage, a magic user, or can I not really tell? Like, am I seeing lots of books and things spell components, things consistent with a magic user?
Yes.
Okay.
You notice some like some paint that's across the entrance to the doorway. Make a
like a ward, like something's been painted, or pot of paint.
Make an insight check for us.
Seven. My roll of the night.
You rolled low again.
Yeah.
Well, there seems to be some paint, like say some white paint, sprinkled through the threshold of the doorway. Not the blood like the pentagram, but a different kind of paint.
Where does it lead to, these strips?
It leads right into the room, and the zombies just glide over it with ease and don't cross over with the disc, and then the room goes down a few steps. So the room goes down. It lowers. The steps lower you into the room, so it goes down about 5 feet.
Can I still see where they're going without crossing over that threshold? Because I do notice that it looks different.
You can, but they're going to go out of sight in a moment as they cross over across the pentagram to the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm. I gotta go
You're
for it.
still on the
I'm here.
ceiling, aren't you?
I am. And it goes up across, like the whole, covers the whole doorway, or not?
You can't seem to determine that, but you definitely saw it on the ground.
And okay, I mean, I'm still up on the ceiling, so that's where I'll cross the threshold. The ceiling threshold, that doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean.
Are you going inside?
I am, because I'm trying to keep them in eye contact. If I could do that without going across, I would, but.
So you hear someone talking, and the strange thing, it kind of freaks you out because it kind of sounds like Al-Kad. And you see a guy who You ever see somebody and they have a brother, and the brother looks a little more attractive? This is the case. He's a little more distinguished. He has he's close to the same age as Al-Kad, but he has a black robe. Just better tailoring, a little more distinguished, better beard, taking care of himself a little better, a little more handsome, not the way he carries himself. And he says, "My Baroness, welcome." And he says, "Leave us." And then these zombies start walking out. And as you cross the threshold, you notice some light flickering, like magic's going off.
Mhm.
And then the whole threshold explodes. Just avoiding. I'm gonna roll for what type? We're gonna go cold 1, fire 2, lightning 3, or acid 4. 4 acid. A big explosion of acid over the. So it's a glyph of warding stuff. It's gonna be 5d8 damage, save for half. It's gonna be a dex check. Get ready to make a dex saving throw.
Uh-huh.
How many hit points did you have?
Well, I have 11 added to what I had. So I have 11 as a spider, and I have
36.
36.
Oh, you're a spider. Okay. I'm rolling damage. So
I think I'm not a spider very long.
you guys hear like a bomb go off, and like I said, we should probably get down there. Okay, here's the damage. 6 and 2 is 8. And it's 4 and 3 is 7 is 15. And one more. 7, 4 is 9. And 7 is 15 is 24. And 15 is 39. Right?
Okay, so obviously I'm no longer a spider, but I still have hit points as the gnome that I turn into and fall to the
Make
floor.
a save DC spell. DC save 17. Dex check.
Dex, okay.
Hang on.
18. I got a 15 and I'm +3. Well, I'm +3 to Dex with as a spider, and then only +2 as a gnome.
Do you get the Istir, do you get the saving throw advantage from the spider dex, or do you use the character dex? You know?
Usually you use the creature that you turn into. So at first if it's not going on in succession and it's just one saving throw, so it's gonna be the spider saving throw.
Okay, good. So you seem to jump to safety to half damage. So 19 acid damage.
Yeah, which means she's gonna get.
Spider.
Yeah,
So
the spider's
then I
destroyed.
have
How many hit points does the spider have?
1, I think.
No, I had 11 because I'm a wolf spider. I had 11 hit. Well, according to D&D Beyond.
Do you want to roll?
I had 11.
Do you want to roll your hit points for a spider? Or do you want to keep the average?
I say we'll keep the average, and then that would bring me to 28.
19 minus 11. It'll be 8 damage over, right?
So
yes.
28
8 damage.
Hyphe.
28. And then your gnome form reveals itself. And I guess you fall down on the ground since you were on the roof, right? You hear a word. You hear someone talking. What has happened? Intruder. And you see this gentleman. It sounds a little bit like Al-Kad, but he's definitely not. A little more distinguished. Walks over to you. He's next to the Baroness, and he sees you there on the floor. He says, "Are you a stowaway?" Talking in common. And the Baroness wakes up. She stirs awake from the explosion just then, and she's there on the disc, and she jumps off, and she starts stretching like this. She doesn't seem to be upset or anything. And Galron's there. Yeah, he's questioning you. He was still away.
I look at him and I say, as if a child, I say, I saw this beautiful light and I followed it and I all of a sudden I'm in here and I feel like I'm in a place I don't belong, and I'll just go if you'll let me. It was such a pretty disc. It was a light and it was like the moon was calling me. I think my mom will want to know where I am.
Let's make a deception roll. Deception, what, intelligence or charisma?
It is charisma. Okay, it's off the charts here. Back in. 17 plus 2.
19.
19. Mm-hmm.
It's unusual to get a gnome in the petrified forest way down here. Are you lost, child?
I'm completely lost. Clearly, it was so beautiful. I couldn't not follow it. Where am I? Who are you?
Just then. By the way, Al-Kad's starting to go down. Are you going to go down?
Yes, but I'll ask him to proceed with caution. So we should still try to stealth through it and not just show our faces into some random fireball.
Okay, so that's gonna take a little longer. I'm gonna roll stealth for Al-Kad. 18 plus 2. Yes, he rolled a 20. Again, he's being very stealthy. He's very impressed with himself. Look, Istir,
it's
look.
Gonna be
I'm stealthy.
An 8 for me.
An 8. So you're stealthy, and then there's some light, and then your foot goes in the light, in the shadow, clumsily. Al-Kad says, I can see your foot. This is bad. And you're progressing down the hall. It's around 100 feet, 120 feet to the end chamber. So that's how far away you are. And so Hyphe, as he asks you, are you lost? And you explain yourself, the door being wide open, that sound of the chain clanging is become louder. And now you know it's right on the other side of that door. And then just then something shows itself. It's a big white pasty, looks like a giant. And he looks like it is chained around his neck. And he's dragged the chain down the hall. And the giant seemed to have 2 large horns coming from out of his head. One of the horns is broken off, but still there like a stub. And it's a very muscular, but you notice that while it's muscular, some of the flesh has been torn from where it should be, and bones were exposed. And it has hooves for feet, and it carries a great mace like twice the size of what a human can carry in 2 hands. And it has a bull's head, and the nose is completely torn off, and there's just rotten flesh where his nose should be. Teeth
like
are coming from its
Minotaur?
Yes, exactly.
Minotaur zombie.
And I make a perception check, please.
Pretty good. 20, a dirty 20.
Okay, and as it walks through the threshold, so it's close to you, and you're right there on the threshold as you come into the room, and it seems to have, if you're looking up, you're looking at it on top of its thigh, right where like his kidney would be. There's seems to be a golden hilt that's jammed right into the Minotaur's body, sticking out from around where his right kidney would be, just dangling in there, and the body just from a combat gone wrong. And the hilt seems to be like a sparkly golden. That's what you notice.
And I'm trying to keep up the pretense that I am a child and totally out of my element, and I'm kind of backing up away from him like I'm frightened, and I'm sort of inching back toward the tunnel that we came from. Just like as though I were completely terrified and didn't know what to do. But looking, taking it all in, seeing that gold hilt.
Okay, he says, children should be seen and not heard. And then he nods his head, and the Minotaur seems to react just then, and he raises his mace. Roll initiative. Roll initiative.
Everyone?
Okay, so something's happening over there. You guys aren't really in range, so you don't really see what's happening, but you do see some commotion at the end of the tunnel. So we'll have to get down there first, maybe take a round, grab that.
Okay.
13 for me.
He went away for now.
I am underprepared, Ishtar. I'm thinking
We
to
should
you.
run.
I'm trying.
I have a feeling that we should run.
All right.
I'm rolling for the undead Minotaur with the sword stabbed into himself.
Okay, it's a 17 plus 2, so 19 for me.
I rolled a 16.
Okay,
about
19 for me, and what it was? Hyphe?
13. Do I get any kind of a bonus, since all I wanted to do is just a little tiny bonus action?
What do you want to do?
I wanted to Misty Step toward the tunnel.
On your turn, yes.
Bonus action.
Istir rolled a 20.
No, 19.
Al-Kad's on the wrong. Ooh, Al-Kad was a 4. Okay, so it's about 120 feet away. The threshold. The doors are open, so you can see. You could see the back of this creature with the chain being dragged, and the chain is being dragged about 40 or 50 feet down the hall. So you can see the chain, and you can see where it ends. It's this big white pasty creature, and you can't really see Hyphe because he's inside. That's what you see. So you
Okay,
get closer.
it's my turn.
Yes.
Then
Well, actually,
how far
wait.
away is he?
Wait, I'm gonna roll for Galron.
Yeah.
Okay. Galron goes to the Baroness and he says, greetings, my Baroness. And she goes to him and gives him a hug. Okay, now it's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, so I see a huge Minotaur-like creature that is half dead. How far away from me is it?
120 feet.
120 feet. That's exactly what I need. That's right enough. I wouldn't even have to walk. I am going to cast Scorching Ray. I will take like 15 feet forward just to be sure that I'm in range, so to speak. You know, in real life, we don't know exactly what distance it is. So I'm taking a little bit of
105.
movement forward. All three raise
Okay,
at him.
armor class 14.
All right, let's see how many of them is going to hit. Okay. So let me see, my spell casting is right. So 17, everything hits. It's an 11, 10, and a 12, and everything is +7.
Just out of curiosity, do you have your spells pool chosen? I think you tell some spells you've memorized, or you?
I
prepared?
usually take a picture of them before I start, just in case you ever had any, in case you ever wanted to text me. These are the ones I've taken today. I've got them on my sheet too, which I could.
Can you just read to them?
What's that? Yeah, absolutely.
Just read to them for us.
Wait a minute. Sure. So first level.
Yeah, I'll roll damage.
Yeah,
Two
give me
wounds.
damage. Give me damage. Armor class what you hit with all 3 rays?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, give me damage.
Okay, so 6, 10. 22. 22
Whoa.
fire damage.
3 searing bolts going to his back. Start smoking.
So it's
Yeah,
like
but-
3 laser beams, one after another. Just
Laser beams. Nice damage.
scorching rays.
It doesn't seem to react just yet, so you're still in the midst of combat.
And that's
what were
all
your-
I can do for now. Do I see any crevasse, anything of sorts, any place that I can hide behind a wall or something, so I wouldn't get?
No, just
two
a straight
huge-
tunnel going straight, and you guys are pretty much
No
rebuilt now.
holes, no anything. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just stay there, stay put. Maybe say to Al-Kad, take a look. There's some creatures there. Perhaps you should try and kill it. No fireballs though. It's a enclosed space, and we don't know what's going on. And that's gonna be my action. My turn.
So what are your spells, Hyphe?
You want me to just take a picture of my cards and send them that
Just
way?
read, just
or
read,
do you
just
want me
read them
to-
out. Just read them out.
Cure Wounds, Healing Word, Ice Knife, Fairy Fire, and Thunder Waver, first level. Second level are Moonbeam, Healing Spirit, Lesser Restoration, Gust of Wind, and I always have Mirror Image and Misty Step because of my Circle of the Coast. Third level, I have Dispel Magic, Sleet Storm, and Wind Wall, and I always have Water Walk and Water Breathing because of my Circle of the Coast.
Are you giving yourself extra spells pull for your circle, or is that just different, more spell choices?
Okay, so I basically can prep every time right now because of that tattoo. I can prep 10, that's normal. I can prep 2 additional because of the tattoo, and I have those 4 extra spells from Circle of the Coast, which doesn't allow me to cast more. It just allows me to always have them prepped. Without counting
spells
against
pull
my-
16.
So I have a spell pool of 16, but like I said, 4 of them are restricted or always chosen.
Okay, so that's fine. Al-Kad also has a spell pool of 16. He has 2 from the arcane gym. That's good. I just wanted to make sure you're on top of that. Very good.
I almost always take a picture before we start in case you ever wanted to kind of make sure I was being honest about it.
Okay, thank you. The Minotaur is going to grab you with his attack. Okay. Your armor class is 15. He has plus 6 to hit. I did 9. 19. He grabs you like a grown up would grab a child by the clothes, lifts you up, and starts carrying you out. You can try on your turn. You can try to break the grapple with your strength check or dex check. He's pretty strong, and so now he turns, exits the room, and is walking outside, holding you like this, with one hand, and then his mace in the other hand. And
Walking outside the room, like back up the way we came, or what do you mean walking outside?
yeah,
Sorry.
towards Al-Kad and Istir.
So,
And I noticed you didn't have heat metal. I noticed that.
I took it last time. I've been preparing the last 3 or 4 weeks for those Katabla passes, and so I've been taking spells, not knowing if we were going to go after them.
He has a huge iron chain around his neck. Just saying. We've been good. Oh well. Okay. Al-Kad is going to. Al-Kad says, "Istir, fireball."
no fireball. Not now. Perhaps we should even retreat if it walks our way.
This is no time to run. You cast gaseous form.
Gaseous form?
He turns into smoke. He says the magic word. He turns into smoke. Gaseous form.
Okay.
Is it smoke that smells like a giant fart, or is it just smoke?
It's just regular, like thinking cloud. No, it's just regular smoke, like a defensive spell. Not sure he cast the right spell, but so you see a big smoke and starts moving around. He does seem to be going towards the Minotaur and towards Hyphe. I think he can do about 30 feet. So he moves 30 feet forward. And that's his turn. And the Minotaur seems to be coming down the hall, holding Hyphe. And then you see the wooden doors, thick wooden doors into the bedroom chamber close with a slamming shut, boom, and it echoes the whole hallway. So those doors are closed. And we're gonna go to top of the hour Istir.
Wait a second. Didn't Hyphe do anything?
I haven't been able to do anything.
Oh, you're right. Hyphe's turn. Sorry.
Okay, so am I, certainly as my action, I'm going to try to break free from the Minotaur, but I need to understand what I can see right now. So the way that we came in is now blocked. Is that right?
No.
Okay, so the bedroom chambers.
The bedroom chamber that where you got exploded where the Baroness and
Okay.
what's his name? Galron. That's his name, Galron. Galron is that door is closed shut, and the zombie Minotaur is escorting you out. Walking towards Al-Kad, who's in smoke form, and Istir, who's sadly stealth at the moment, and casting Scorching Ray.
Okay, I am delighted to be being escorted out, I think, because I didn't see any other places he could take me, right? He's just basically taking me to the door.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna let him do that.
Okay. Back to the top is here.
So I can see Hyphe being carried by this creature, right?
Yes.
So I'm saying to her, like, perhaps I attacked it too soon. Was there even a reason to do that? He just carries you out? Can she answer me as a reaction? If she wishes to, of course.
As you ask her, the zombie flesh is smoldering from the Scorching Ray. Doesn't seem to mind too much.
And I'm gonna give it my best 10-year-old voice and say, "Oh my goodness! Thank goodness he's taking me away. Thank goodness he's taking me outside. I can't wait to run away from this terrible place." And I'm sounding like an absolute child, hoping that you're picking up what I'm putting down, which is we're not ready for this.
All right, I'm dashing outside, taking my full 60 feet of movement.
Okay, you can get actually outside of the desk. So you run outside.
Taking a corner, like behind something to the side, so I wouldn't be right in the way of this creature.
Back to the night with the owls howling, hooting owls.
Mm-hmm.
Al-Kad's still in there in his gaseous form. And he wants to do some investigation. He wants to do some investigation. So he's gonna stay down there. He can still hear you though, if you want to encourage him not to do that.
Yeah, I will say, Al-Kad, if you can hear me, maybe you should maybe you should take a look inside, but be careful. And I'm getting the hell out. So like right before I'm getting outside, I'm telling him a couple of words and moving out. I don't know. I wouldn't even know if he can hear me. I don't know if the spell allows it. I'm not
You
a
believe
wizard.
you believe he can hear you? That's the understanding. They don't really cover that actually. I assume that you can talk to him, but I mean, if you go gaseous, you don't have ears, so how could you hear? But I guess magic doesn't actually say that. I guess because magic you can hear. So let's say he can hear you. You've been trained in the mystical arts and gaseous form spell. You can still hear people, but you can't really talk back.
Okay.
And the Minotaur's marching down the hall, and just when you see the little bit of a moonlight come through the tunnel, and maybe like you're gonna go outside, a door opens, like a secret door to the right, on the right side, and the Minotaur walks through that secret door, takes you down some steps, and going downwards into what looks to be a dungeon. It's a spiraling staircase going down. It's going down about 20 or 30 steps down.
Okay, tell me when it's my turn.
You get to like what looks to be like a black rusty gate at the end of the stairs, and there's like a keyhole that seems to be rusted, and the gate's in bad shape. But it looks like it seems to be like a damp, dark chamber. And you can look through the gate. It's a gate going into this room. You can see the gate. There seems to be some pools of water, something wet, and there's some tables in this room. Looks kind of dark. You do something.
Wait, but he's taken me, how far has he taken me off of the main path?
25 feet.
About 25 feet. Okay. I am going to shape change again, but into a small spider. And immediately start crawling like out of where he could even tell where I am.
How many times can you shape change?
What's that? 2.
Times can you shape change?
2.
So this is your second one. Okay, you back into wolf spider?
No, smaller spider. Not tiny, but small enough that maybe I could scurry around without him seeing exactly where I am. So let's say...
The smallest spider you can. The smallest spider you can.
Okay. I mean, not minuscule, but yes. But like a normal, like a house spider kind of thing. But not like the house spiders they have in Australia.
Since he's holding you, you're still going to be in his fingers, but I will let, if you want to, I will let you try to break free, like with a dexterity or strength check.
Right.
Technically grappling you. So I'm still going to have the hold on you. I'll let you break free. Otherwise, if you don't, I'm going to say that you're still basically in his hands. Is that fair?
Okay.
The DC, the grapple DC is 16.
But for a spider, I mean, he was holding on to me, and now I'm like, so his hands are here. Seems like a high DC. I don't want to argue with you, DM, but it seems like a very high DC.
Because you're shape changing, right? Say what I'll do. I'll give you the advantage.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Is Dex better than Strength to use to break the DC?
For me, yes, it's better. And it makes sense.
Okay, DC 16. Your Dex is what, +2?
Correct.
You'll have to roll 2 dice and get a 14 or higher.
I rolled both 9s. I'm gonna re-roll. I'm gonna re-roll. This is my luck roll.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna-
re-roll one of the 9. The second roll has to stand.
I understand. 17 plus 2, 19.
Okay, you squirm through the zombie's Minotaur's fingers, and you want to like jump on the roof or jump on the ground, or what do you want to jump on?
Yes, exactly. I'm jumping onto the nearest thing unless no walls are closed. I want to be away from his eyesight, and if that means I have to go to his neck, I will. But if I can jump away from him toward a wall behind him, that's ideal.
You jump to behind him, to a wall behind him. Why don't you make an attack roll to jump to safety? It's a straight attack roll.
12 plus whatever. Plus nothing, I guess. I don't know.
You
You
usually
leap on
find
the. Go ahead.
spider, I
Okay, so-
think, was +3.
Yeah,
Plus
you get +3 for the spider, so roll to 15. So you leap on the wall right of him. For the moment, he's lost notice of you, just for the moment.
And for my action, I'm headed for shadows, or my movement rather. I'm headed for shadows.
Okay, at this point, Istir realized that the Minotaur did not come out as expected. What do you do?
Okay, so do I hear perhaps this secret door opening, some stone cracking or something of sorts?
You'll have to go down there. You didn't really hear. You did hear the Minotaur go down some steps. I'll give you that.
Okay, I will try to
You know what? Make a
stealth my
hearing
way
check.
there.
Give
Then.
me a D20 hearing check.
Okay, 13 plus 6. It's still perception. 19.
Okay, so you do hear that the Minotaur had stepped down the stairs, echoing the hallway.
Mhm.
Big fat clumsy Minotaur. Zombie. mind
Okay,
you.
I'll take a little look peek from where
You
I'm
look down the
hiding at
hall,
the
and
moment.
there's no, the hall's empty. The gas, Al-Kad's gas is still there. He's searching down the hall, doing some investigating.
So he continues further where the Minotaur came from.
Yeah, matter of fact, there's a door opening where the gas is, where Al-Kad is. So he's discovered where the Minotaur went to.
I'll try to stealth there then. I'll have to use my action for that.
Is the door open? Okay, give me a
Okay.
stealth roll.
Okay. 10. So it's gonna be a 10, and I'm gonna move 30 feet into the hallway. You're still without your.
What'd you get?
It's gonna be a 10, and I'm gonna move 30 feet inside with my movements. Or
Okay,
even, you know what? I'll just keep my eyesight from the outside. I'll just try to be stealthy behind the wall while still keeping my head, just to take a look at what exactly is happening there. I can see a doorway. I don't hear Hyphe.
You can see like it looks to be like a secret doorway that's opened, and Al-Kad's there. The gaseous form is in the doorway, blocking it, sort of, and you can see that much. And the Minotaur is going to try to find you, trying to find the spider. I'm going to say, give him a perception check. Here we go. Ooh, he's located you. What's the armor class? Is it spider?
I am. spiders. Oh, there's a seahorse right next to it. Didn't know there were stats for a seahorse.
Yep.
Armor class is
Oh, I just
12.
forgot about Herbert. What's with Herbert and the invisible servant? Unseen servant. I guess they're down there too. What's your armor class?
12.
12? Okay, Zombies had it with you. He's going to come down with his great mace. Let's see. He gets a gore attack. That would work. Towards the wall. Hey, there's a spider. Why not? He's gonna try a gore attack on you. +6 to hit. What's your armor class again?
12.
12.
Okay, I need a 6. Here we go. Oh, that was a 20. I'm so sorry. Minotaur leans over and just slams his head, which is really his horn, into the wall, and then you got everybody hears like a crashing, like something just broke, like he's gonna basically break the stone wall, and hits you dead on, like the horn like hits you like right the back of that spider. Damage I got 2d8 +4, so I'll just roll 4 dice. That'll be 48. Yeah, roll again. Roll off. Sorry. Okay.
We should have kept the good berries.
13. I rolled low. 14 damage +4, 17 damage.
Okay. So I am no longer a spider. I am back to gnome, and I have
Now, did that spider have 1 hit point or
12.
what?
Yeah, that spider had 1 hit point. So I'm back to 12. I'm down to 12, and I'm back to gnome.
Yeah.
Okay, and now he's gonna come down at you with his mace, just to attack. Now you're back to armor class 15. Now he sees you. You turn to a round shape gnome and start rolling down the steps. Here we go. Armor class 15. I need 9s. He hits you with his great mace. He does 2d20, 2d10. Which is 2 to 20, and I have +4. 7 + 4, 11. Get 1 point. You hear a clap. You guys, everyone hears a clashing, and cracking, and beating of the stone walls with this Minotaur's mace and this horned attack. And Al-Kad is going to take some opportunity to switch back to his form so he can fight. He wants to fight. It's like nobody treats my gnome that way, my friend. So Al-Kad turns back to himself. He's there in the spiraling staircase. And then Istir, your turn.
Okay. I'm too far to do anything.
You can run to the if you dash, you can get there.
If I'll dash, but then I'll lose my action and I'll just be a slab of meat over there. So I'll take 30 feet of movement, and
you can get to the.
I will cast an
door.
illusion in front
Okay.
of me.
What do you cast?
I'll create a 5 by 5 foot illusion of a wooden door that is just in the middle of it for no reason. I will be hidden behind it, but I will be able to see through it because I know it's an illusion.
So you're gonna hide yourself behind your illusionary door, but are you taking? Is the door blocking the whole
It's just 5 by 5 feet. I'm just sitting down there, and it just looks like a half a broken door.
The
that
door's
stands
floating,
there.
or is it on the ground?
No, it's on the ground. It just looks like it's a piece of broken wood over there, like a door with a part of it severed on top.
Okay, you are successful at your illusion. By the way, what kind of wood is it? Is it like a pine or like a...
Just looks like an old door that starts to rot a little bit here and there. No specific wood, some unspecified grain.
You're successfully hiding behind the door, and Al-Kad says, "This is no time to hide, Istir." And
you would have to roll against my DC to even know that it is a spell, by the way.
Now you guys are at the top of the stairs, and you see like a spiral staircase. So down the stairs, the Minotaur has some cover because he's down like at least one level lower, but you can see the outer shape of the Minotaur, and I guess you don't see Hyphe. Hyphe's down there somewhere. The stairs getting pounced by a mace. So let's
hear screams.
Let's re-roll. I don't know. Is there screaming, Hyphe?
There's usually some screaming when you get down to 1 hit point. Yeah.
It's
more like squeaking though out of my mouth.
We're going to start again. We're going to re-roll initiatives from the top. I'm going to roll for the Minotaur first. I get +2. Here we go. Ooh, I got a 20. Okay, let's do. You guys give us initiative. Add your decks. I'm gonna roll for
much
Al-Kad.
worse for me this time. It's a
Al-Kad rolled 11.
I have a 9.
9.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 9.
That's with your decks.
Yep.
9 as well for me, but I'll be behind Hyphe because I have only +2 to dexterity. So
that's what I am also.
So it's. I guess I'll be behind you in any case.
Okay. You can watch me.
I'm hiding behind the door.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, Istir is totally safe. By the way, he's totally safe. He's hiding behind the illusionary door. You're kind of impressed with yourself, I think. Al-Kad says, "I think you might need to teach me this spell. This is 9th level spell. 8th level."
It's another cantrip.
Okay, and the Minotaur raises his mace, and he won initiative. He lifts it up. His muscles are like rippling, and as his muscles are rippling, you see like his bone pop forward on his elbow. He pops right through the flesh as his muscles are rippling. He comes down with the two-handed great mace down upon the wounded druid. And we're going to end there till next week.
Oh, come on.
Hyphe,
Okay.
I'll tell you something for the future. By the way, I don't even know your real name, but it doesn't matter, I guess, for this conversation. It's more of an out of character. Gwen. All right, I'll try to remember. I just typed my name in the chat. You know that Misty Step allows you to escape no matter what, even from a grapple.
That's fine, but I didn't use it, and I'm going to use it now, but it's not my turn. I'm going to be squished first. So
what I mean is that turning into a spider was a good idea, but I think like for the future, if you will survive, hopefully you will survive.
Got it.
Because I don't have any healing potions.
I've got one, but I'm not going to be able to use it unconscious. So
we will be able to use it from you.
See you next week.
Yes, see you next week.
And I work on another story for us, please. Love your story.
I have a bunch. It's mostly reworked things that I already know. I'm just trying to reconstruct them a little bit, perhaps make them shorter, not to hug the spotlight.
Thank you.